Unit 9, Quiz A. These lines mean absolute value, and so you want to make sure that you think of a V, and it's a straight line, right? And they're either going to open up or open down. Because this is positive, we know it's going to open up. Your vertex is, you look at between the absolute value, what makes this 0? Would be 2. Then you insert the 2 in here and solve for y. So you have 2 minus 2 is 0. 0 times 7 is 0. Minus 6 is minus 6. Is your vertex. Your line of symmetry is, where does it come and be symmetrical on each side of the line? So it's always going to be a line, so it's x equals your value there, so 2. Is this a max or a min? Since it opens up, it is a min, the lowest point of the graph. And what is that min value? It's the vertex, 2, negative 6. Then it says to graph it. You must graph your vertex and then a point to the right, point to the left. So we have 2, negative 6. We have 1, 2, negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you want to put in your number chart 1 or 0. It doesn't matter. And then over this way also, so it would be 1, 2, 3. These should be the same number if you did it correctly. So in your calculator, go and take and put a 1 in there. So we have 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Absolute value is positive 1. So 7 minus 6 is 1. So 1, 1 is the point. So that means 3, 1. So 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, up 1. Now you need to take a straight edge and make sure it's a V. So it definitely will look like a V because it's a line, so it's a straight line. And the nice thing is, I can go like that, and it's, look at that. Now, if it has a square, what are you thinking of? A parabola, a U. So it opens up or opens down. Since it's negative, it's going to open down. So that means the highest point here is going to be a max or a min. That is going to be a max. And it will be, your vertex will be the maximum point. Well, what is the vertex? What makes this 0? What minus 2 gives me 0? 2. So the x value is 2. 0 squared is 0. 0 times anything, that's still 0. Minus 3. So it's minus 3. Line of symmetry is this value. So it's x equals 2. Line of symmetry means where is it going to create a line? It's symmetrical on both sides. What is the maximum value? Remember, the maximum value is going to be that vertex. So your vertex was 2, negative 3. Now graph it. So you want to graph it. So you go 2, negative 3. So we have 2, 1, 2, negative 3, 1, 2, 3. And you want to make sure you have a point over on this side and a point on this side. So I'm going to put in 0. It can be anything. So I'm going to put in my x and y chart. I'm going to put in 0. So here I have negative 1 divided by 5 times, and we have 0 minus 2, which is negative 2 squared, is 4, minus 3. So it's a negative 3.8. Almost 4. So that means, so over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's about right there. That means also, so see how it's symmetrical, so it's right here, is the other point. And you want to curve it out. So you want to graph it so it curves. Now if you wanted to, you could put in the same equation, put in 1, 2, 3, 4, and you will get that point. Any of them go too fast, stop it, rewatch it, or come and ask me questions. First thing it says is to find the x-intercept. When it crosses the x-axis, what is your y value? Your y value is 0. So you have 0 is equal to 2x squared minus 3x minus 4. Now, how can I solve this? Since it's set equal to 0, how can I solve this when I have a square? I can use the quadratic equation. The quadratic equation is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Remember that a is the number in front of the x squared, so a is 2. B is the number in front of the x, so b is negative 3, and c is negative 4. So we have negative b, so we have negative and negative, so it's positive 3, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so we have negative 3 squared, minus 4a, which is 2, and c, which is a negative 4, all over 2a, 2 times 2. So the biggest thing that you guys want to make sure that you do is put parentheses around this when you're doing it, and you should have 3 plus or minus. Put this into your calculator. A lot of you got this part wrong. Put this into your calculator and you should get 41. If you didn't get 41, you probably didn't square this, or you didn't put the parentheses around it. If you still do not get 41, please come and see me. And that's divided by 4. Then in your calculator go 3 plus the square root of 41 equals divided by 4, or put parentheses, and then the other one is 3 minus the square root of 41 divided by 4. So we'll get 3 plus the square root of 41 and equals divided by 4. You should get 2.4. And then this one is 3 minus the square root of 41 equals divided by 4. And that is a negative 0.9. I rounded up. Now, this is your x value. That's your x value of your intercepts. What is your y value? What is your y value of your x-intercepts? 0. So the first x-intercept is 2.4, comma 0, and the next one is negative 0.9, comma 0. Your vertex, remember your x value, which is the line of symmetry, is x is equal to negative b over 2a. So negative b, which is your negative 3, so we have negative and a negative 3, so that's positive 3 over 2a. So 2 times 2 is 4, so we have 3/4. And 3/4 is 0.75, so x equals 0.75. So your vertex, that's your x value. How can I find my y value? You would plug this number in for your x's and solve for y. So I'm literally going to go 2 parenthesis 0.75 squared minus 3 times my 0.75 minus 4. And I get negative 5.125. So negative 5.1. is this a max or min? Since this is positive, we know that it's going to open up. So that means it's a min. What is my min value? Remember, is what the vertex. So it's 0.75, negative 5.1. And now it says to write it in vertex form. So your vertex form, remember, is y equals, your a has to stay out there, so 2, parenthesis, x in the opposite sign, minus 0.75 squared, and then your y-intercept, or your y value is out there, minus 5.1. Not your y-intercept, but your y value. So, if you say, well, why is it this? Go ask yourself, what is the vertex of this? It would be 0.75, negative 5.1. That's what the vertex is. So it's opposite of this, same as that. So let's graph it. So we graph our vertex first. So almost to 1, and then going down a little bit past 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it is there. Then we can put 1 over this way and 1 that way. So let's do negative 1. So I'm going to throw in a negative 1. So 2, I'm going to throw in my negative 1. So I have negative 1 squared minus 3 times my negative 1, and then minus the 4. I get 1.